Hey everybody, welcome back. So I got the package that I've been waiting for that I talked about in the last video. It's going to be another Masters of the Universe Origins review reaction. This is going to be one that I have been waiting for a long time. Finally, a Origins Queen Marlena. So obviously this figure was not released in the 80s with the original bunch. It did come out as the classics, whatever year that was. I didn't get into that group of action figures. They looked really nice, but quite honestly, at that point, I wasn't really collecting them, and I didn't even really know about them. I never got into those or the Super 7 line or any of that stuff. But as a kid, I always did really want her. I had, Prince Adam and I think I had King Randor when I was a kid. And then, of course, She-Ra, who I just pretended was Aurora, but never have a Queen Marlena. So it's really good to finally have her in that line. I like this action figure a lot. Took a look at it, so we'll take a look at her in the packaging, and then I've got one opened up so that we can take a look at her outside of the packaging as well. For the cartoon collection, I think they did a really good job. She looks very, very close to what was on the cartoon, so it's pretty cool. So take a look at her here. Obviously, looks really, really good, I think. I think they did a really good job. Like I've said in all these videos, I'm really happy with the cartoon collection. I think they've done a good job. And then, of course, she comes with her space helmet and the ship that she arrived in, the episode where she came to Eternia from Earth. But obviously the packaging is pretty similar to all the rest. You got the 80s view there in the cartoon collection. On the back here, it does have the King Randor, which we already did the reaction to, the cartoon collection. And then Queen Marlena. And then, of course, it shows her wearing her helmet and then stance, and you notice she doesn't have her skirt on there. They did make that so it does come off. She obviously doesn't have her white spacesuit other than the helmet, but a little bit more functional without the skirt on. So that's a nice touch. So there it is in the packaging. Again, pretty similar to all the other cartoon collection ones. Now, here she is outside of the package. And again, I think she looks pretty good. They've got the outfit really nice. Crown. So really good depiction of her. And I'm glad they did the cartoon collection version of her instead of, a different one. Obviously, there wasn't one in the 80s to match. So, but I'm glad that they didn't come up with something else and they actually did this one. I think she looks really good. The only accessory she comes with, obviously other than the book, is her white space helmet, and this little visor does raise up and down. Okay, and so with her, and we'll go over this to her, obviously her little comic, but of course these have started coming with diagrams of which pieces come on and which pieces come off, which is nice if you want to interchange pieces. I know some people do that with arms and legs and stuff like that. It's good to know what you can do without breaking her. And this one was actually really good because obviously it lets you know that at the waist, she does pop off, okay? And her skirt just lifts up off very nicely. And then you can pop her back on, and she's just in green leggings and black boots, which, again, makes it nice for, sitting in, if you want her to be a bit more like Space Marlena. Now, the helmet took me a little while to figure out, right? It's like, how, with the crown, do you get the helmet on? And obviously her whole head comes off, but then you can't see her eyes and face and everything in there. Well, they made the top of her head just right at her crown layer here removable. If I can get it off. I had it off earlier. Of course, now that the video is rolling, it's not going to come off. Come on. It wasn't even that stuck earlier. Oh my goodness. It just lifted up in the back. There's a little slot in the back that her head fits into. And it came right out. Oh my goodness. Now it's not going to come out. Incredible. It literally just popped off earlier. Not a problem at all. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. I'm going to stop it and get it off. Okay, that took a couple minutes. It was really stuck on there. But her hair and just her crown, the top part of her head, comes off. She almost looks like Ilea from Star Trek 1 movie. And then obviously a little groove in the back to help hold it on. A little dot in the top. And then inside the helmet, obviously, little dot, little groove. Just snaps right on. We'll see if we can get that back off later. And then you've got her face inside the helmet. Just like that. So her little space outfit, sort of, obviously not white again, but as close as they can get without giving her a second body. Who knows, maybe they'll come out with that at some time, I don't know. But there she is, Miss Queen Marlena. And that came off a lot easier than her crown did. We'll put that back on. Goes on a lot easier than it came off. I don't know why it got so stuck, but there is Queen Marlena. Really glad they came out with this figure. Like I said, I've wanted it since I was a little kid in this size for these guys. So really, really nice. Really good figure. Good articulation. Good likeness. No problems with paint or anything. She's painted well, so none of that stuff that's been going on with the 200X figures or anything. So there she is. And then, of course, the little comic which goes over kind of when she arrived at Eternia and Randor and Keldor, the brothers fighting over her and trying to win her over, and her wanting to go back home, and then falling in love with Randor and deciding to stay on Eternia. And so again, of course, the comics are always cool, just like they were back in the day. Fun little things to read. But that's it. That's Queen Marlena for the cartoon collection. I hope you guys like it. Hope you guys like her. If you're planning on getting her, I think she's going to be a pretty popular figure, because I know quite a few people, I think, wanted her even back in the day, and they said it was a mold. She was too different to make a mold of that wouldn't have been profitable to Mattel. They wouldn't be able to use enough of her parts on other figures to make it profitable to make her. But they made the Sorceress. I mean, the Sorceress was way more complicated than her, you know. I mean, with what it could have just been a little changes on a Tila body. Sorceress had wings and a whole different headdress and everything, so it doesn't make sense to me, but that was their justification for not making her back in the day. But they did now, and hopefully she'll sell well, hopefully she'll do well. I think people are liking this cartoon line. I haven't had a lot of comments on the reactions on whether or not people are enjoying collecting these or getting them, but I know people are out there, so and they keep making them, which is good for me because, like I said, I really like this cartoon collection, and they're coming out with some that we haven't had before, so that's really nice too. So as always, let me know what you guys think. And I think that'll pretty much wrap it up for here for today with this one. All right, so thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.